So for this project, I'm going to show you how to make one of your first illustrations inside of Inkscape. We're going to be using different layers. We're going to be using references that we import into Inkscape. We're going to learn about the freehand tool and an effects tool inside of Inkscape. So let's go and get started. First thing I want to do is go to the donut assignment inside of Teams, scroll down to the bottom. You're going to download 4 references. So I'm going to click on the 3 dots, click on download. Each of these is going to be a layer that you import inside of Inkscape. You have 2 different topping layers here. You can take a look at them and see what they look like before you download them. I'm just going to download both of them. Now let's go ahead and open up Inkscape. On the top left, let's click where it says File. Click on New from Template, Blank Page. Copy the settings that I have here, letter, horizontal, and normal. Create from template. Before we get started, let's go ahead and save this in a folder for a new project. Go to the top left where it says File, click on Save As, click on Home, click on Desktop, find the cloud with the name next to it, click on that. Let's go inside Documents. I'm going to go in the folder for the year, folder for this period, and let's go to make a folder for this project. Find the folder with a spark next to it, click on that. Let's call this Donut. Go ahead and click Off, click back on the folder. Let's rename this file, your first name, first letter of last name, the name of the project, and the period name of class. Click on Save. So the reason why we're creating a file before we get started is so that we can save often and save your progress as we move along in this project. Let's go to the top left where it says File, click on Import. I'm going to import this first layer here called Donut. Glaze is going to be the second layer, and then layer number 3 is going to be our toppings. I'm going to click here where it says Donut, click on Open, leave the default settings, click on OK. There's our donut. Go ahead and center it on your piece of paper. I'm going to open up our Layers panel. I'm going to click on the 3 dots on the right hand side. If you don't have the 3 dots, go to the top left where it says Layer, click on Layers and Objects, and here's our layer 1 here. This is the default name. Go ahead and click on that. Let's call it Donut. For the image, let's call that a reference, or just ref for short. Click on the reference. I'm going to click on this tab up here where it says Fill and Stroke. If you don't have that there, click on the drop down menu, click where it says Fill and Stroke, and down here where it says Opacity, let's turn that down to about 50%. Let's go back to our layers. Let's lock the reference where it just says Ref. We're still inside the donut layer, but I just locked the ref layer. Let's go ahead and use our circle tool on the left side here. Click on the circle tool, and if the oval that is following your mouse around is just white, click on the letter D to color select, or go over here on the left hand side to find the color selector tool. And let's click on the color of the donut. Go back to your circle tool, and now the color that's following your mouse should be the color of the donut. The way that this circle tool works is you want to find the top of the circle, left side of the circle, hold down Control, click and drag until you get about the width and the height of the donut. So if you notice, my mouse is still on that circle tool. I'm going to go to the top left, click on the black mouse, or hit Escape twice on your keyboard. Here is the shape that we created. I'm going to go back to Fill and Stroke, turn my opacity back to 100%. If the color is still light, look up here where you have your layer A and drag that all the way to the right. If we compare the circle that we have, our reference has an outline around it or a stroke. So we have to click here in the middle where it says Stroke Paint. Click on the second option, and it'll give you a color by default. Now, whenever we're choosing a color, you would have to hold down Shift so that the color of the outline turns the color that you're clicking on. If I don't hold down Shift, it's going to fill in the shape. So if you're not holding down Shift and you're just clicking on colors, it's going to turn the color of whatever you're clicking on. So I'll pretend that your outline got turned to a different color other than black. You would hold down Shift on your keyboard, and click on the color that you want. So I'm going to click on black. Let's change the width of this stroke. Let's go over here to where it says Stroke Style. Click on that. Let's change the width to 6. And this is the outline of our donut. Let's go back to Layers. Let's name this Outside, and we can hide this. And let's go ahead and make a circle for the donut hole. Grab your circle tool, make sure that the color of the oval that's following your mouse, it could be white since it's just going to be a hole. So the top of the circle, side of the circle, and where they would meet. Hold down Control, click and drag. Try to make this the same height and same width as your reference. Careful because you still have the circle tool selected after you get done making a circle. So hit Escape. Go to the top left and click on the black mouse. Let's turn the inside of this to white. We have to go back to Fill and Stroke, or click on the drop down menu to click on Fill and Stroke. We want to change the fill this time, so click on where it says Fill, and we want to change the fill to white. So down here on the color white, you can just click on that to change the fill. Let's go back to Layers. Let's rename this layer Old, and we could hide it. Before we hide this reference of the donut, let's go ahead and lock the donut layer. Let's create a new layer. Let's call it glaze. Click on add. Let's go to file, import, go to your downloads folder. If it didn't take you automatically to your downloads folder, click on home, click on your downloads folder, click on glaze, click on open, leave the settings the way they are, and center the glaze. Go back to your glaze layer, click on the image. Let's rename it for reference. Let's go to fill and stroke. Let's turn opacity down to 50%. And the reason why we're turning down the opacity so that we could trace this shape here. Let's go back to layers. Let's lock the reference layer. We're still inside the glaze layer, but we're locking the sub layer called reference. We're gonna try a new tool out. Let's use this one called Draw Freehand Lines. The way that this tool works is I could click and draw small pieces at a time. I could click, let go. I'd have to pick up where I left off and then continue. Before we do that, I suggest turning your smoothing on the top left to 25%. So I'm going to click and drag, and you have to find where you left off. Continue to click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. If you get comfortable, you can keep drawing a little bit more. Click and drag, click and drag. And there's our glaze. So I'm going to select this. I could click on the black mouse in the top left or click on escape. And we're going to add an effect here to smooth this out a little bit more. We can tell that some of this glaze is a little bit jagged here. So I'm going to go to the top right, click on path effects, click on the plus sign, click on simplify. I'm going to change steps to 9. Threshold, I'm going to change to 0.1. Smooth angles, I'm going to change that to 40. And it should smooth out the stroke that you drew. And it should have got rid of some of those jagged edges that you had. So let's click and drag that to the side. Let's go to fill and stroke. You can choose the color of your frosting or choose the color that was already selected. So you can tap the letter D to color select or go over here to the left hand side, find your color selected tool. If your layer is still light and you're still inside the fill and stroke tab, click and drag your color all the way to the right. Make sure your opacity is all the way to the right. And you can change your colors here of your glaze. I'm just gonna leave it the color it is. Careful because you still have the color selector tool selected, so you can tap escape or top left where the black mouse is at. I'm gonna place this back where it was to center it. I'm gonna go back to my layers. I could turn off this reference by hiding it. I'm gonna unlock this glaze layer, create a new layer. Let's call it toppings. Click on add, go to file, import. I'm going to click on toppings, page 1. Keep the settings as they are. For these toppings here, you could just use a circle tool. You could change the color of those. You could use a drawing tool for these as well that we just learned how to use. I'll show you how to make these sprinkles. I'm going to click on the reference, go to fill and stroke, turn about 50%, go back to layers and lock the reference. Let's call it reference first. For these sprinkles here, I'm going to use the score tool. I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to grab the circle, click all the way down. I need to deselect from this option here, so I'm going to click on the escape key on my keyboard or click on the black mouse. I'm going to change the size of this stroke that I have here, so I'm going to go to fill and stroke. I'm going to click here where it says stroke style. I'm going to change the width of the stroke to 3, and now I could resize these sprinkles here. If you want to rotate them, click it again until you get these rotation tools that pop up, and that's how you would make your sprinkles. So you could copy and paste these, change the rotation of them by clicking on the shape again, getting the rotation tool. So if you want to rotate, you want to click on your shape again until you get the circles that go around your shape. And you want to make these look as natural as possible, so try to make it as random as possible. So if they're all going the same direction, change it around. And once you get a batch of these toppings, you could select them all, Control C, Control V, and you should be able to rotate this whole batch. Control V. Just remember that the middle part is going to be cut out anyway, and that's how you can make your sprinkles for the top of your donut. So I'm going to create a sub layer here called sprinkles. Put it inside my toppings. I'm going to click on the first layer, hold down shift, click on the last one. I'm going to put them all in my sprinkles layer. I'm going to hide that for now, collapse the layer. So if those are the sprinkles, you want to add different types of toppings, you would click on the plus sign to add a new layer. So these might be the crumbs. You could use your drawing tool, click and drag. You just have to make sure to change the color of these if these are going to be crumbs. So you would go to fill and stroke, click on fill, tap the letter D. If you want the same color, you would just have to change the opacity because you're selecting something that has the opacity down already. So there's your crumbs. Similar to the sprinkles, you would create a bunch of them. If you want these seed shapes here, for these here, you don't have to use the pencil tool. You could use your Bezier tool. So you click and drag. And you can edit these nodes. Change the color by selecting D on your keyboard. I'm gonna go back to my layers. Let me hide that. I'm going to hide this reference here. I'm gonna import my second reference so you can see what that looks like. I'm gonna go to File, Import, Toppings, Page 2. So you can make these shapes here that look like white chocolate chips. Or you can add this drizzle using either the Bezier tool or the drawing tool, or this bacon. And you also have this churro piece that you could put on your donut. So we could call this reference 2, click on fill and stroke, turn down your opacity. I'm gonna move this to the center, lock the layer. And you could do this a couple different ways. So you can use the pencil tool. I could start with the outside. So click and let go. Click and let go. If you make a mistake, you could do Control Z. So there's my outline. I could use this for the whole shape of the churro. Now what I could do is I could use my pencil tool again. Once I trace it, I would go back to my fill and stroke and turn my fill off because it's already going to be filled in from that original shape that we drew for the outline. Same thing for the lines on this outside here. I'm going to click and drag across. Click and drag. Again, you don't have to get it in one line. So I'm going to deselect, double tap the escape button, or click on the black mouse. I'm going to select all of my lines. You can click and drag on your layers over here. So I can click on this one, hold down shift, click on the last one. Just make sure it's the shapes and strokes for this topping. I'm gonna go to fill and stroke, turn my opacity back up, and I can group these shapes here. It looks like this is still transparent, so I'm gonna go to filters, fill and transparency opacity. I wanna make sure my global opacity is all the way up. Click on apply a couple times, click on close, and I can group this. So I can right click and group. So I can click and drag this all at the same time instead of having to worry about having all those layers selected individually. So you could do the same thing with the bacon. You could do an outline, or you could do your colors and then do the outline. With this drizzle, you could use the Bezier tool or the freehand tool. I'm going to hide this reference. I'm gonna bring back my sprinkles. I'm gonna click on my sprinkles. I'm gonna duplicate it. So I'm gonna right click and duplicate. It's gonna copy and paste right over. Might have to unlock it. I could click it again to rotate. I could right click and duplicate one more time, rotate. Again, you really don't have to worry about the middle. And if some of your layers are still transparent, you would go to fill and stroke, make sure that this opacity is turned all the way up, or go to filters, fill and transparency, click on opacity, and hit apply a couple times. Click on close. I'm gonna lock this layer. I'm gonna lock this layer, unlock this layer, select them both, and go to filters, fill and transparency, opacity, and just make sure that those are turned up as well. Click on close. I'm gonna name my churro layer, maybe move it to the side. You can even make it a little bit smaller, so you could hold down control, click and drag a corner. Now I have my toppings, I have my glaze, and my donut. So let's bring back our donut. So I'm gonna go back to my donut, click on the drop down menu. I'm gonna unlock it. I'm gonna hide my reference. I'm gonna turn on my outside layer, bring that over to the reference. I'm gonna click on the whole layer, turn it back on, click and drag until it's at the very top, and now it looks like your donut has a hole inside of it. And because I have the churro on top, I might have to go back to my toppings and rearrange the churro so it's on top of the hole. If you notice that some of your toppings are being cut off by the hole, you might have to move the hole downward into the toppings. So now your sprinkles look a little bit more natural rather than hanging over the hole of the donut. If you notice that some of your toppings are transparent, just make sure to go to filter, change the opacity. Now let's go ahead and save. Let's go to file, save, and this will be the file that you attach inside of Microsoft Teams. If you're not sure where you save this, you can go to file, click on save as, click on the drop down menu, and you have to follow this path here when you're ready to attach this file into Microsoft Teams. So if you have any questions of how to bring your references inside of Inkscape, how to rearrange some of your layers, how to use the fill and strokes tab or the effects tab, go ahead and let me know.
Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And feel free to watch any of the other related videos.